Good evening. Am I audible? Okay. So we were doing percentage yesterday, and we have covered almost how many questions we have covered? Just count the number. Count the number. $16. 16. Okay. Write one more question. Let's increase the number then. The last question was there was no change. It means 0% change was there. Write one more question. The price of an article. The price of an article is reduced by 25 percentage. The price of an article is reduced by 25 percentage. The quantity of cloth sold, the, the quantity of cloth sold was increased by 20 percentage. Was increased by 20 percentage. What was the net effect on gross? What was the net effect on gross receipt of shop? What was the net effect on gross receipt of shop? It was done, I think. No? Okay. Do the question. So Geo class was cancelled. Done? When the price of the cloth was reduced by 25%, the quantity of cloth sold was increased by 20 percentage. What was the net effect on gross receipt of shop? We have done several type of questions like this. I think you're taking more time than usual now because within 10 seconds or 15 seconds you will get the answer. What is the answer now? 6.25 percentage decrease or increase? Decrease. Okay, let's do the question. The price of the article, this is price, it was reduced by 25 percentage. So the fraction is 1 by 4 and it is reduced, and sale was increased by 20 percentage, so the fraction is 1 by 5 and sale is increased. So we have initial price and final price. So if I talk about that initial price, the initial price of the article was 4 units and the final price is 4 minus 1, that is 3 units. Initially the sale was 5 units and finally the sale is 5 plus 1, that is 6 units. I told you that there will always be a battle in between initial and final. You can cut the commons. If we have the commons, there is common 2 and this is 3. So initially the revenue generated was how many units? 10 units. And finally the revenue generated is 3 into 3, that is 9 units. So obviously there is a decrease in the revenue. and there is a decrease in the revenue by how many units? 1 unit. And we have to give the answer in percentage. You know it very well. There is percentage decrease first of all, and there is a decrease of 1 unit on how many units? And if you have to give the answer in percentage, then multiply it by 100. So the answer is 10% decrease. This is the answer. 10% decrease. Online students are doing good. 10% is the right answer. Any problem in this? Okay, write it down, then we will proceed to the next question. Write the question. The price of a commodity, the price of a commodity rises from 6 rupee kg to 7.5 rupee kg. Rises from rises from 6 rupee kg, 6 rupee per kg to 7.5 rupee per kg. So this is the change in the price. So there is a hike in the price, but he has given the exact numbers. The data is not in the percentage. The data is the exact value. Okay. Okay, right. The next thing, if the expenditure remains same, if the expenditure remains same, full stop, find the percentage reduction in consumption. Find the percentage reduction in consumption. Find the percentage reduction in consumption. You have done that price, consumption and expenditure question. The last question of the last class was of that price, consumption and expenditure. If you want to take some hint or help, you can check that particular question of the previous class, the last question of the previous class. Done? Good. Okay, look at the board. Look at the board. So there is information about price. I can say that this is initial price and the price after increase is 7.5 rupee per kilogram. So I can say that this is final price, isn't it? Okay. There is an additional information about expenditure also, that expenditure remains same. Then find the percentage reduction in consumption. You know it very well. Price into consumption will give you the expenditure. We have done it earlier. Price into consumption, that will give you the expenditure. And he has simply said that he does not want to change the expenditures. So it means expenditure remains constant or same. So what is the meaning of that? The meaning is as simple as that. If he was spending 100 rupee, I'm letting the money. If he was spending 100 rupee, now only he is spending 100 rupee. So he has not changed the expenditures. If he was spending X rupee, and now he is spending the same money that X rupee. Any problem in this? If he was spending only 1 rupee earlier, so now he is spending the same money that 1 rupee. He does not want to change the expenditures. He just want to change the percentage in consumption. So is this understood by you? Okay. So I need a number like from I need a number which can give or which can be divisible by 6 and 7.5. So I can take the LCM of these number. I can take the LCM of these number, but it will be a long process. He is simply saying that he does not want to change the expenditure. Okay. Okay, I'm doing one thing here. If I multiply, let it be A and let it be B. This value A and this value B. I'm taking B here and taking A here. And if I multiply AB, then what will I get? AB. And if I multiply B by A, what will I get? BA. But the value is same. But the value is same. Let's do this thing here. Take that 7.5 here and 6 here. If I multiply 6 into 7.5, I will get the same number which I will get after multiplying 7.5 by 6. And after doing this, the expenditure is same. So if I multiply 7.5 into 6, what will I get? 45? 45. But you don't have to find out the product because we don't need this. Any problem in this? Okay, now we can say in a very simple way that earlier the consumption was 7.5 units. Now the consumption is 6 units. So there is a decrease. And this decrease is of how many units? 7.5 minus 6, that is 1.5. Very good. And we have to give the answer in percentage. So there is a decrease in the consumption by 1.5 on 7.5. And if you have to give the answer in percentage, you have to multiply it by 100. That decimal will be settled down, because after decimal there is one digit and there is one digit. So 15 into 5 will give us 75, 5, 20. So the answer is 20%. So there is a reduction in the consumption and that will be 20%. Any problem in this? Got it? That was very simple. And if you want to do it like, if you take LCM of 6 and 7.5, then it will also be doable. So what will be the LCM of 6 and 7.5? We will do it on the next phase. If first of all you write this method. This method is very easy and useful. 20% decrease, Mr. Prime. Your answer is right. Sang metal. Done? Okay, let's take LCM of 6 and 7.5. Should I remove this part? So everybody has done it now. Okay. I'm not doing that particular thing. We know that expenditure remains same. So we are taking expenditure as the LCM of 6 and 7.5. So the LCM is 30. LCM is 30. What is LCM? LCM is the lowest common factor of any numbers. So 30 is divisible by 6 and 7.5 also. So I can take that expenditure is 30 and now the expenditure must be 30 for both the cases because he is not changing the expenditure. And if I find out the consumption for the first case, I have to divide that 30 by 6. What will I get? 5. Very good. And in this case, we will get 4. Earlier, the consumption was 5 units. Now the consumption is 4 units. There is a decrease of how many units? You have to give the answer in percentage. There is decrease of 1 unit on 5 units, then multiply it by 100. So the answer is 20%. So we are getting the same answer. Any problem in this? So if you want to go by the LCM method, then you can go by LCM method. And if you want to that what we say that this one exchange the values, then do the cross sign and exchange the values. It depends on you how you approach the question. It will save your time, that particular thing, and it is the traditional method. And if you want to go by this method, the accuracy will be 100% in both the cases. Okay. Okay, let's do the next question. Now we are going to do some fraction questions comes under percentage. Write the question. If the numerator of a fraction, if the numerator of a fraction is increased by 20 percentage, if the numerator of a fraction is increased by 20 percentage, and the denominator of the same fraction is decreased by 20 percentage, then the value of the fraction becomes 4 by 5. Then the value of the fraction becomes 4 by 5. Find the original fraction. Find the original fraction. Hurry up. Find the original fraction. Yes. Good. But take the variables at least. Let it be P by Q or something A by B. Okay, look at the board. In my first class, I said to you that we will not be glued with one approach. We have to read the question, then we will have to find the approach. Whichever is easier and suitable, we will go by that. Okay, read the question. It is simple that it is the question based on fraction. So first of all, what is fraction? Fraction is as simple as that. Fraction is numerator upon denominator. Numerator upon denominator. Or in simple words, I can write it like n by d. N by d. N for numerator and d for denominator. If you want to take p by q, then it is also okay. But in the questions, we are increasing or decreasing the numerator and denominator. So it will be very helpful that we have the variables like this n and d for the same terms. Any problem in this? Okay. Now what he is saying? He is saying he has increased the numerator by 20 percentage. You know it very well. Any certain value at percentage will be complete at 100 percentage if it is the initial value. Then after that the value can be increased or can be decreased. So earlier, if I say that I'm talking about numerator only. The numerator was 100%, but there is an increment in this, and the increment is of 20%. So I can write it like 100 plus 20% is, now the numerator is, earlier it was 100%. Earlier it was 100%, but there is an increase of 20%. So I can write like 100 it was earlier, and there is an increase of 20. I can say now the numerator is 120%. Is this okay? Any problem in this? Okay, let's talk about the denominator part now. Denominator is decreased by 20 percentage. So I can say that earlier the denominator was also 100%, but it is decreased by, so 100 minus 20 percentage. So denominator is exactly 80% of the earlier one. Or we can remove that 100 minus 20 part directly. Any problem in this? So there is a change in the fraction, and now the fraction becomes 4 by 5. So what is fraction? Fraction is n by d. So I can write it n by d, and the fraction is 4 by 5. Any problem in this? After solving this, we will get the value of n by d. Any problem? So you can do these type of questions like this, and these are very simple questions. Okay, look at the board. I'm telling you how to solve it. 120% N and 80% D equals to 4 by 5. Then this percentage part will be cut by percentage only. Okay, 0, 0, 4, 3, 4, 2. So this is N by T. So we will cross multiply it. This 4 and 2 and 5 into 3. So the fraction was 8 by 15. So the original fraction was 8 by 15. That's it. I told you you don't have to glue with the fraction method, because this question is going very simple by the help of the percentage method. Then do the question by percentage method only. Any problem in this? Okay, viewers are increasing now. Very good. My God. In your exam, from where you have to approach the question? Sorry, what went wrong? Actually, I am not that technical. But where is that slide? Yes. In your exam, you don't have to approach, or you don't have to start the question from here. In your exam, how you have to start your question? We know it very well that percentage part will be settled down. So your first step will be like, listen, your first step will be like 120 N and 80 D equals to 4 by 5. This is your first step, and in second step you will get the answer. Okay, because the exam is all about the time management. Everybody is capable of doing questions when they are outside of the examination hall, but the challenging thing is that you have to do the question inside the room and in the meantime. Okay, so you will have or you should have the different kind of approaches. Any problem in this? Next question, and the same question, I need the answer within seconds. Write the question, but you have to write the question completely. Don't focus on speed or that I will give the answer. No. If the numerator of the fraction is increased by 20%, if the numerator of the fraction is increased by 20% and the denominator is decreased by 5%, then the fraction becomes 5 by 2. Then the fraction becomes 5 by 2. Find the original fraction. Find the original fraction. Find the original fraction. In this question, now you can approach the question directly from that particular step now. Good. Take N and D also. N by D. Good. Done? What is the answer? Eight by 15 of the last one. Okay. What is the answer? Look at the board. We can approach the question directly now. How? There is an increment of 20% in numerator. I can write it like 120 and there is a decrease in the denominator by 5%. 100 minus 5, that will be 95, and the fraction becomes 4 by 5. I can cut it by 5. This is 5 now. So this is 9. Wait. Okay. And this is 4 and this is 30. The fraction become 5 by 2. You should have told me here. This is 120 n and 95 d. 5, this is 24. So n by d equals to 95 by 24 into 2, that is 48. So the fraction is 95 by 48. Are you getting the same answer? 95 by 48. Okay. Any problem in this? Let's move to the next question. Mr. Prime, 95 by 48. Your answer is correct. Very good. The sum of two numbers is 520. The sum of two numbers is 520. If the bigger number is decreased by 4%, if the bigger number is decreased by 4%, and the smaller number is increased by 12%, then the numbers so obtained are equal. Then the number so obtained are equal. Find the smaller number. Find the smaller number. Hurry up. 95 by 40 is the right answer. Amalgams. Single. Yes. Repeat. Okay. I'm repeating the question. The sum of two numbers is 520. If the bigger number is decreased by 4% and the smaller number is increased by 12%, then the numbers so obtained are equal. Find the smaller number. Find the smaller number. Have you done it? This is very simple question. First of all, 130, Mr. Prime. This is not the right answer. Done? No. Don't go by this method. Change it. What you are doing? You are multiplying. You don't have to multiply. Done? Okay, look at the board. Leave your copy and pen. Look at the board. First of all, the question is very simple. In arithmetic maths, you have to know the way how to process the information. It means that first step to do the question is data arrangement, and the second step to do the question or to finish the question is doing calculation. So the question will be done in two steps only. First one is the arrangement of data and second one is the calculation. Okay. What he is saying or what is the information provided, we will write that particular information. He is simply saying that the sum of two numbers is 520. I can say that two numbers, let's take A and B. So A plus B equals to 520. This is the first information and I have written it. Any problem in this? Okay, let's read the other information. If the bigger number is decreased by 4%, so from A and B, let you can take randomly any number. A is like the bigger number. So he is simply saying the bigger number is decreased by 4%, and you know it very well. Any certain value at percentage will be complete at 100% in starting initially. So initially the A was what, 100%, but he has decreased the A by 4. So I have to minus this value from 100. So this is 100 minus 4%. Now A is what? A is 96%. A is what? 96% because he has decreased the value. Any problem in this? So let's read the another information which we have, and the smaller number is increased by 12%. So B is as obvious the smaller number because it is the other number only, and he has increased the smaller number by 12%. Earlier the value of B was what? 100%, but he has increased it by 12. So I can say that B is now 112% of B. B is now 112%. Any problem in this? So we have new value of A and new value of B, and he is simply saying the numbers so obtained are equal. So the value of A, new value of A and new value of B is equal. From here, we will have the ratio of A and B. The ratio of A and B. Is this part understood by you? Any problem in this? Okay, let's do the calculation then. The calculation is very simple. Cut that percentage part with percentage. Because if you remove it, it will be by 100 and by 100, 100 will be cancelled out. Okay, and this is 96. Now this is 96A and this is 112B. Both the number are divisible by 4 because this is 96, and we have to check last two digit of any number. If last two digit of any number is divisible by 4, then the whole number will be divisible by 4. So 12 is divisible by 4. So let's divide it. 4 into 24. 24 into 4, that is 96, and this is 28. Again it is divisible by 4. So this is 6A equals to 7B. Let's take A and B together. So this is 7 and 6 will be here. Any problem in this? If you want to read it, you can read it like, if A is 7 units, B must be 6 units. B must be 6 units. Any problem? And if we add these two numbers, we are getting what? 520. And after adding these units, we are getting what? 7 plus 6, that is 13 units. So I can say that the value of 13 units is equal to 520, and we have to find out the smaller number, and the smaller number in 7 and 6, what is smaller? So we have to find out the value of how many units? 6 units. So add these numbers, the value of 13 units equals to 520. If we find one unit value, it will be easy to find out the value of 6 units. If this is the value of 1 unit, if I multiply it by 6, then I will have the value of the smaller number. Any problem in this? So multiply it by 6. 13 into 4, 6 into 4, that is 24, and 1 0 was left behind, so the answer is 240. So the answer is 240. Any problem? Mr. Prime is right, and Aman Singhal, he is also right. So you don't have to approach the question by fraction method always. If you find a way easier than fraction method, then go by percentage or any other method. But you don't have to be glued with one specific method. Are you getting? So our next topic is income, expenditure. Make the heading income, expenditure and savings. Income, expenditure and savings. This is our next topic. And make a star on it because this topic is one of the important topics. Income, expenditure and savings. This topic deserves respect, so start it with the new page. The topic is income, expenditure and savings. Okay, you don't have to write anything. First of all, just try to understand the concept. What is the concept and what is the relationship in between income, expenditure and savings? So these all terms are related to money. These all terms are related to money, and money is very interesting topic to study. Don't you think so? No, I think the most beautiful thing on earth nowadays is money. How many of you agree with the statement? No, I'm not going to judge you first of all because I'm also in that. Boys, seriously. But not a single girl raised the hand. Why? Because everybody has different values. Very good. But money, this topic is related to money, so you have to understand money. And when it comes to pocket, then I don't think so that there is any problem in understanding what are you getting and what you are spending. Okay, I have 100 rupee in my pocket. How many? 100 rupee. Very good. I have spent 70 rupee out of it. So my expenditure is, so what is left in the pocket? 30, and 30 is my savings. So there is a clear cut relation in between income, expenditure and saving. What if I have to find out the income out of that expenditure and savings? I can write it like, I can add expenditure and savings. I will get what? I will get what? Income. Any problem in this? Or you can use the values you can interchange the values and you will get that expenditure. If I have to find out the expenditure, what will I have to do? I have to minus that savings from income. So this is the relation in between income, expenditure and savings. James Stephen, he has written, yes sir, money is best. So students are agreed with the fact, but in a vicarious form, not directly. Don't worry, you will agree and you will understand the fact after some time. Okay, this is understood by you. Write one more question. A man spends 75% of his income. A man spends 75% of his income. A man spends 75% of his income. His income increased by 20%. His income increased by 20%. And his expenditures also increased. His expenditures also increased by 10%. And his expenditures also increased by 10%. Find the percentage increase in his savings. Find the percentage increase in his savings. Done the question? Okay, arrange the data. First of all, you have to arrange the data. That's it. Then the second part is of doing calculation. Done? Okay, look at the board. What he's saying, he is saying that a man spends 75% of his income. Okay, so there is income. Try to understand the concept. Then we will apply this particular concept on the real values, because in this question we have the data in percentage only. So it is easy, but we will try to apply that particular method on the real values where the numbers are big. Income, expenditure, and the third one is saving. The difference between the difference of these two is savings. So what he is saying, that income, he has spent 75% of his income. The data is in what percentage? So it's better to let the income as 100, because the data is in percentage. So I'm letting income as 100. So if my income is 100, so his expenditures are 75%. So what is 75% of 100? What is 75% of 100? Alright, do it like this if you don't know. So what is 75 itself? I don't know how to do this. Seriously. This class is recording online also. So you will be captured like you don't know what you have to do. So you have to find the 75% of 100. So write directly, that is 75. So he had 100 rupee or 100 units as income. Out of that he has spent 75 units. So what is left with him? 100 minus 75. So the left amount is savings. Any problem in this? Okay. Now these three numbers are in the proportion. So all these three numbers are divisible by 25. Like if I divide 100 by 25, 25 into 4, 25 into 3. And I told you the difference between income and expenditure will be savings. So 4 minus 3 will be 1. And if you divide 25 by 25, it will be 1. So it's better to cancel income and expenditure only if the number are big. If the numbers are big, you don't have to spend or waste your energy on saving. Okay, because you know it very well if you're doing the question in units. So the difference between these two will give you the exact unit of savings. Any problem? Okay, then now I can say the income, if the income is 4 units, then expenditure must be 3 units and savings must be 1 unit. Okay, now the numbers are in ratio. I all the data is in percentage. So to make it easy, I can multiply it by 100, all the values by 100. Multiply 4 by 100. What will I get? 300 and 100. By doing this, I'm avoiding the calculation only. And if you look at the basic ratio, the basic ratio is same. If I cut double zero, double zero, double zero, the ratio will be same, 4:3:1. I have not changed the ratio. Any problem? Okay, then let's move to the next information what is given. He has simply said his income is increased by 20%. His income is increased by 20%. So there is an increment of 20% in the income. So for the 20% of 400 will be 80. So income is increased by, how I am finding it, like 400. We have to find the 20% of it. So it will be 80. So there is an increment of 80 units in the income. We have another information. He is simply saying his expenditure also increases by 10%. So expenditure earlier was 300 unit and now it is increasing by 10%. So 10% of 300 is what? Very good. 30. Any problem in this? So I can say the new income is 400 plus 80, that is 480. And the new expenditure is 300 earlier, but it is increased by 30. So now the final expenditure is 330. So the difference between these two will be the new savings. The difference between these two new values of income and expenditure respectively will be the savings. So what is the difference? 480 minus 330 will be 150. Very good. So earlier the savings were 100 units. Now the savings are 150. So there is a change. Savings are increasing by how much units? How many units? 50. 150 minus 100. And we have to give the answer in percentage. So there is an increment of 50 units on how many units? 100 units. So I can write it like there is an increment of 50 units on 100 units, and if we have to give the answer in percentage, we have to multiply it by 100. So the answer is 50%. So the answer is 50%. Any problem in this? Okay. Write it down, then I will tell you another smartest approach. Or sorry, smarter approach. Prime 50%, yes, good. Samela Singlahi 50. Understood? So have you done it? Let's understand it in more smart way or a smarter way. If you have done it, then I will tell you. Done. Okay then. Remove this part. Common sense is common for everyone. Common sense is common for everyone. We will use some kind of common sense in this. How? See the increased income. I'm talking about only increased income because the earlier income or that 400 units or the spending 300 was fixed. So the increased income is what? 80 units. How much? 80 units. And his increased expenditure is 30 units. So the difference between these two will be the increased savings. So difference between these two will be the increased savings. So increased savings will be what? 80 minus 30 because he is earning 80 new rupees or 80 new units and spending 30 out of it. Ultimately, he has 50. 80 minus 30. 50 in his pocket and this new 50 is his new savings. Any problem in this? Okay, then we have to find out the answer in percentage. You know it very well. The increase or decrease will be on the numerator side. Earlier, the savings were, or the initial or the original savings were 100 and multiply it by 100. So this is the smartest approach, I think. You don't have to waste your time and energy. So the answer is 50%. Any problem in this? Okay. But that earlier method was traditional method and it will give you 100% accuracy. And it will not take more than 10 seconds comparing to this method. It will take 10 seconds more, but it will give you 100% accuracy. Because this term, to do this term, you should have some kind of common understanding about these things. And if you don't have any common understanding, just add the numbers, take the difference and do the question. Any problem? Shall we move to the next one? Okay, then write the next question. Write the next question. The monthly income of a person, the monthly income of a person is 13,500. Is 13,500 rupee. 13,500 rupee. And his monthly expenditures are 9,000 rupee. And his monthly expenditures are 9,000 rupees. His monthly expenditures are 9,000 rupees. Okay, this is his monthly income and this is his monthly expenditures. And the difference between these two will be the savings, obviously. Okay, write the question. Next year, his monthly income increases by 14%. Next year, his monthly income increases by 14%. And his expenditure increases by 7%. And his expenditure increases by 7%. Find the percentage increase in his savings. Find the percentage increase in his savings. Hurry up. Find the percentage increase in his savings. Done? Done? What is the answer? I'm asking you guys, what is the answer? So the answer is 28% increase. Mr. Prime, he is really good. Answer is right, 28% is. You're getting the same, 28% is good. Okay, let's do the question. This is 13,500. This is what? Income. And this is expenditure. This is income and this is expenditure. These are real values, but we can take the ratio also because both the numbers are divisible by 100. First of all, so cancel the zeros. This 90 and 135, both the numbers can be divided by 45. And if you don't know that particular calculation or that big numbers calculation, then divide both the numbers by 15. It will be easy. So 45 into 3 and 45 into 2. You know it very well that I have not taken the difference between income and expenditure, and I did not waste my time in doing that 13,500 minus 9,000 and the value is 4,500. Why? Because I told you that the numbers are in ratio. If I have two values in ratio, then I will get the third one automatically. So the income is 3 units and the expenditure is 2 units. If I take the difference of these two, what will I get? It will be the savings, and savings are what? 3 minus 2, that is 1. Any problem in this? Okay. As the numbers are in ratio, then we can multiply them by 100. So multiply it by 100 and by 100 and by 100. I have not changed the ratio, but we are doing this just because to do the calculations easy. I just don't want to go in the fraction parts. Understood? So there is an increment in the income that is of 14%. So his income is increases by 14%. So his income is increased by 14%. So what is the 14% of 300? 42. So his income is increased by this, and his expenditures are also increases by how much percentage? 7. So the 7% of 200 will be 14. So this is his new increased income, that is 42, and his new increased expenditures are what? 14. So I can say that what is the difference between these two will be the increased savings. 42 minus 14, that will be 28. So there is an increment in the savings by how much? How many units? 28 units. Any problem in this? And we have to give the answer in percentage. So there is an increment of 28 units on what? 100 into 100. So the increment is 28%. Any problem? Understood? Done? Okay, then let's move to the next question. Again, the same thing I'm going to tell you that you guys are running out of energy again. I don't know why, but let's do the next question. So these questions were based on that income, expenditure, and savings. And we are continuing the questions, but on a different format. And just try to break the big numbers and make the ratio out of it and multiply it by 100 so that your calculation will be very easy. Right, next question. Radha, this is the name of the lady, Radha. Radha spends 40% of her salary on food, 20% on house rent, 10% on entertainment. Spendings are like on food, she is spending 40%, and house rent HRA or house rent is 20%. Entertainment, this is entertainment. On entertainment, she is spending 10%, and on tickets, she is spending 10%. If her savings, full stop, if her savings at the end, if her savings at the end of the month, if her savings at the end of the month are 1500 rupee, if her savings at the end of the month are 1500 rupee, then find the total income of Radha. Then find the total income of Radha. So you have to find out the total income of the lady Radha. Done? What is the answer? What? 7,500. Very good. Good. Have you done it? 80% she has spent. She's left with what? 100 minus 80, that is 20%. So 1500 is the value of 20% only. Got it? Done? Very good. Yes. See how Radha is spending money. First of all, her total income must be 100%. Her total income must be 100%. Out of that 100%, she is going to spend. Isn't it? So let her total income at 100%. This is her total income. So her total income is 100%. Any problem in this? So she is spending 40% on food, 20% on house rent. On entertainment, she is spending 10% and 10% on the tickets. We can add these percentages and we can remove the expenditure from 100% and we will get the savings. We will get what? Savings. So this is 40, 20, 60, 10, 70 and 10, 80%. So her total spending is 80%. Her total spending is 80% out of 100%. So she is saving what amount? 100 minus 80 will be her total savings, and she is left with 1500 rupee. So that 1500 rupee is also her savings, but that 1500 rupee is in rupee, and if we talk about in percentage, she has 20%. Any problem in this? So we can say that this 20% is equals to what? 1500, because she is left with 1500 and she is left with 20% in percentage. Any problem? And if we have to find out the value of the total income, we have to find out the value of 100%. Let's find the value of 1% first. So 1% is equals to what? 1500 divided by 100 minus 80. It will be 20. And for income, we need the value of 100%. So we have to multiply it by 100. So 0, 0 to 75. So her total income for the month was 7500 rupees. Any problem in this? Any problem? Good. So that was the expenses done by Radha. And see the life of Radha. She has hardly 7,500 rupee. But see the life she is living. She is spending 10% on entertainment and 10% on the tickets. And she still has what, 1,500. And I don't think so that you guys are spending less than 20,000 or 25,000 a month and not getting that entertainment. Okay, let's do the next question. Radha is more blessed with less money. A person gave 20% of his income. A person gave 20% of his income to his elder son. 20%. A person gave 20% of his income to his elder son. Comma, put the sign of comma. 30% of the remaining to his younger son. 30% 30% of the remaining to his younger son. And 10% of the balance, and 10% of the balance he donated to the trust. And 10% of the balance he donated to the trust. He is left with 10,080 rupee. He is left with 10,080 rupee. And find the total income of the person. Sorry, then find the total wealth of the person. This is the same. And find the total wealth of the person. There is one online comment we have received about Radha that we have a lot to learn from Radha. I think this is good. Typical Radha. Very good. Some of you are just trying to do the question with the previous approach. Maybe. And if you are not doing so, I think that you are smarter. Read the question very carefully. He is distributing the remaining parts always. So he is not giving the money directly. As she was giving the money directly to the expenses. But in this question, he is not giving the money directly. $25,200. Is anybody getting the same answer? But the 25,200 is not in the option even. This is wrong, Mr. Prime. Okay, look at the board. Look at the board. Don't worry. Look at the board. First of all, you have to understand this approach because we are going to cover the most important part of the percentage, that is election. So you will see one or two questions of elections in your exam. And the approach of doing election questions will be same as we are going to apply in this question. Okay, so let's try to understand what went at that time when he was distributing the money. So it was very simple. Let the total wealth of the men be X. Let the total wealth of the men be X. So this is total wealth. out of this total wealth, he has given directly 20% to his elder son. He has given 20% to his elder son. So of this X, he has given 20% to his elder son, isn't it? And read the next line. 30% of the remaining to his younger son. 30% of the remaining to younger son. It means after giving the 20%, what he is left with? 80%. 100 minus 20. So he is left with 80% of his wealth. Isn't it? Because he has given 20% to his elder son. So before giving the amount to his younger son, he is left with 80% of his wealth. And he has given 30% of the remaining to his younger son. So out of this 80%, he has given 30% to his younger son. So I can say that from here, he is giving younger son as 30%. Any problem in this? So he is left with 70% of this amount. 70% of this amount. Because this amount is 100%, no? Because every value is complete at 100% in percentage. I told you. Any problem in this? So before that, he is left with 100%. That he has given 30% to his younger son, and after giving that amount to his younger son, from this part, he is left with 70%. 100 minus 30, that is 70%. Any problem in this? Read the question again. And 10% of the balance. 10% of the balance he donated to the trust. Now he is donating 10% to the trust. So after donating 10%, he is left with what? 100 minus 10. He is left with 90%. 90% of this amount. 90% of this amount. And he is left with what? 10,080 rupees. So this 90% equals to what? 10,080 rupees. Any problem in this? So the next part is of doing calculation. Just make this and write this in the same format and put it in a box. Put it in a box like this. Because if mistakenly you are going to revise the chapter, then you will find the important parts separately. Done? Calculation. What is the answer? 20. Good. Now the next step is doing calculation. Let's do the calculation. This can be 4 by 5. This is 7 by 10. And this is 9 by 100, or I cut the zeros. This number 10,080, add the digit sum 8 plus 1, that is 9. If the digit sum is divisible by 9, then the whole number will be divided by 9. 8 plus 1, that is 9. So this 9 is divisible by 9. So we are 100% sure that this number will be divided by 9. And we have 9 here. So we can divide it by 9. Divide it by 9. This is 199, and 9 into 2, that is 18. So we are getting 1120. Any problem in this? Now we have two other numbers like 7 into 4, that is 28. The double of 28 is 56, and the double of 56 is 112. So I can divide the 28 directly like 4, and 0 was left, so put the 0. Let's check what we have in denominator. Now 5 and 2 zeros are remaining. 5 and 2 zeros are remaining. It is the best way to do the calculation. So 5 into 40 into 100. So 5 into 4, that is 20. Count the zeros, 1, 2 and 3. So his total wealth was 20,000 rupees. So his total wealth was 20,000 rupees. Okay, understood? So this is for today. Thank you.